Okay, so let's see. Are we actually running now? This time I've got Spotify in its own thing where I can control its um, audio. Hopefully this time people will tell me if I've got no audio. That would be nice. And we went all of yesterday's stream with no background music, even though I was hearing background music, but no one else was. So before we start, YouTube, above, over here to the left of the screen, down in the description below, we have the customary credits given for MFCC music, as they ask. Obviously, a shout out to MFCC Music. They do some awesome background music for videos and streams. It's royalty free and copyright free. You will get what's known as copyright hits occasionally from using them, because obviously they own the music and they have to acknowledge to YouTube that they have given permissions. Right, so I'm going to be using both palettes today. So I'm going to be mixing them in this one, and then we'll transfer it to this one. Just because it's going to be easy to mix here, and then we can keep it here. I've also been working on one of the bases. You probably remember the two bases with bits of terrain on, so this is one of them. The other one is currently on top of my computer drying because I worked a lot of green stuff yesterday, so it's a combination of the green stuff you mold and liquid green. I'll be sculpting that properly once it sets, because it's easy for me to come in with the sculpting tools and do that. I also don't want to use those on stream, on the grounds that I could cut myself, and it's harder to blur out where these accidents happen live on stream. So there's that. So I will be doing the sculpting stuff off stream. Some of the painting stuff happens off stream as well, because I've got a lot of this to get on with. Where are they? These were the two you saw go onto bases yesterday. So we found them two bases that actually fit them. These guys, because of the rock on their foot, it's a bit harder to place them on the bases. What is going on with my camera? There we go. Move that out of the way. Also, shout out for some fellow streamers. So check out Warai's channel. Also Gene Splicer's channel, and also Mike Moans and Troll Trader's channel over on Twitch. Warai and Gene Splicer are here on Kick. I think Mike Moans is also, well, I actually find a place he isn't on because he's also on here on YouTube. He's on OnlyFans, but he calls himself Moanlyfans there. He's also, I mean, pretty much just go check him out on his Twitch, and you pretty much get all of his links. Okay, so what colours are we going to be using today? Enough dark green for now, although I might make a metallic green. No, that's to do with computers. Where's my reference tools gone? So we'll give it a minute, and then we will put some music on, hopefully. Not painting them yet. So, not the bulk by mass amounts of those. Lionel Johnson there. Yeah, it's still not them, so that can go back over there. But Lionel Johnson, there we go. So, there we go. Everybody I need to be painting. And the so-called tool guide from Forge World. Okay. Basically, it's a self-promotion of themselves. Fair enough, you know. But I need these so I can gather what to be painting, or at least what colour schemes to be painting where. So people did ask off stream yesterday, why did I do the edges on those these? So they have edges because they have edges. See? Right there. I've now got to come in and do the metallic bits. So we're going to be working with metallics quite a bit today by the looks of it. So we will be doing the shields. Let's get them. Actually, may as well do the weapons as well if I can find all of them. they haven't gone far. They've all got to be up here somewhere. Also shoulder pads. There's one shoulder pad. Let's get that shoulder pad stuck on the support thingy so I can paint it properly. Okay, it's those support pads. Right. Just stab myself slightly on one of them. It's only an ow, it's not a... Oh my god!
Cut your
Those that do keep asking, my finger has healed quite well since last week. It was, like I said back then, it looked worse than it actually was. Which we couldn't find out until I actually got it cleaned up. And I went to A&E for that to make sure. Okay, there's more of his cloak that can go over there. There's a lot of backpacks up here. I've only got 2 swords. There's a sword missing. Did I put it over here maybe? I mean, it's the big broadsword, so it can't have gone too far. Problem is, everything got turned into chaos not so long ago due to the computer. And so, instead of organised chaos, it is honestly just chaos. So,
what sword are we talking about?
Right, so I've got his sword. I'm missing 2 of those, and I'm fairly sure they were still on the sprue. Ah, I see them. There. That's everybody's weapons accounted for. Well, I loosen my hair a bit. It's doing that whole, it's pulled so tightly, it's stabbing me in the brain noodles thing. Okay, so let's go to this. Now, I would like to know if you can hear this, because it now has its own audio to it. Can you hear music? Well, I found my headset. You're not just hearing it from my headset. So hopefully music is coming through and we're not having a repeat of yesterday. No Johnson's on the area. These are nice. Right, so I need to be mixing that as a can. So that's all my projects today except for the base. The base can fit everything. Right. Dust on there. Double white. Bit of bone white. White. Maybe a bit more bone white somehow. I'm looking to get a nice light creamy colour. Now then. And it's not wet, which is this one. The green stuff dried on the end, that's going to have to get fixed. So I'm not too worried about the tip on this. This is an old Citadel basing brush. Kind of long since it's lost its point. Had it since 2012. It gets used for horrible jobs now. Quite a bit of this one. And I can't put it in a pot. I will admit, the army painters' paints do smell quite horrible. And they're not as disgusting as some of the Citadel washes, but still not entirely pleasant. Job brush can go sit in there. Job palette can go sit over there. And now we can find my number 4 wherever that is. Oh, sorry, you've seen my arm right across your screen. I'll just pull this over. Yeah, so there's my number 4. I'm also going to need my number 1. But that's my 0. That's safe in finding it. And there's my 1. Yay! Pick my next colour. There we go, my heavy green. Heavy green. What type of green do we have? It made itself easy to find today. On black, because that adds a slightly different tone of black to the whole mix. See, that one's a bluey black, where this one's actually a sort of greeny black. You can't really see it on the camera. Yeah. Keep doing that lately, painting myself. Where we put it yesterday, which you can see on the aqua pad below the palette pad, where yesterday's green paint got through. And yes, I did think about mixing these just before stream, but we learnt from yesterday. That just ended with algae tablet in place of what I'm doing now, which was paint I could control, not an algae tablet. Glad to see my chat's actually working today as well. Yesterday it didn't register YouTube at all. Today it appears to be doing so. Oh, hello, Linda Drake. Thank you. I've given music its own dedicated volume control thing. Oh, here we go. That's now going to. Oh, I've forgotten to pin some links. Okay, I'll just paint this on, and then I'll be right to the links. Because the wildlife rescue link should be up, asking you to donate to that instead of to me. Fluorescent white really does help. Okay, so just need to do a thing. Shouldn't take me a couple of seconds, hopefully. Open. Stream play. Contact info. Copy. So we're going to pin it on Kick. Oops, sorry. Now I'm saying sorry to inanimate objects, because that's what I do. There we go. Making a postage stamp version of YouTube so I can keep one eye on YouTube. Just because YouTube has this weird habit. There's nowhere else I need to brighten up on this guy. I think there is, at least not on him. He actually needs his wash down. Okay, so he can go over here for now, so I don't hurt him. He can come back here. And he can come back here. And those can come back here. And I'll worry about the cloaks later. Right. Again with the itchy nose, excuse me. Probably means I'm going to have watery eyes in a minute, that's usually the case. Starts with an itchy nose and then I get watery eyes that burn and sting. What's up? It's off. There. Seems I'm having an issue with my thumb. I'm not going to tempt fate. Should put the shields on this. And it can do my holding for me. So we use number 4. Come here, hair. Cute. can go away and drive for the minute. Ugh. Drive for a minute. we go. One delivery.
Didn't I say?
Yeah, you did say it. It's probably happened while I'm streaming. Just let's make a jump. Wasn't actually expected for another 2 hours. Okay, how damaged is the box? I heard him talking about it being damaged. I mean, it's only the outer box. Everything inside should be good.
No, he wanted to eat them himself.
Yeah.
That's why he said it was damaged.
Oh, you could have offered him some.
Loads of people next door.
Yeah, you could have offered him some. Our Amazon drivers do overtime round here.
Oh. Why are you sneaking cat?
Is the cat on the slink fest again?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Which one is it? Cat. Oh, it's Soot. Oh, I know why she's slinking. She's scared I'm going to pick her up and cuddle her again.
There.
Yes. Our feral cat had her first pickup cuddle today. She freaked out but loved it at the same time. Now let me see. What yummy chocolates have we got here? No, don't want one of them. I want the... Oh, that'll do. I'll have a whisper. Breaking my diet.
You are looking for an ordinary one. Dairy milk.
I'm very literally breaking my
There.
vegan diet.
Touch it. There. I was looking for a list of myself.
I still have to wonder, why do we need cow's milk and butter in chocolate? And there are multiple, much tastier vegan alternatives these days. Like shea butter, which is derived from plants. The answer is it's only because I'm actually in need of a sugar boost. I don't have anything in the house at the moment that can give me the carbohydrates I need to push my sugar levels up. Otherwise I wouldn't even bother eating these. too worried about little accidents of overbrush. So we can remove that in darker colours later. What's its first? Just going to paint the swords on it and just put it in there. Brush over. I'll come over it in the white one later. Lighten up that middle strap. Very Command and Conquerish. Oh, who did that one? I actually thought I had turned that off on my stream. So, welcome in. It's not your fault that these sound alerts are still present when they shouldn't be. Actually blurps, because yes, I'm just looking at blurp now, I did actually turn them off. So, yeah, okay. I only turned that one off because I am multi-streaming on YouTube and words.
Fail.
YouTube get antsy about that particular tune. Okay, who said that? Any better? You have to have words with blurp, I think, because that particular sound effect earlier was not supposed to be able to be played on my stream. At least not while I'm multi-streaming. And I do love that one. Only I heard it. Okay. I'm not sure what I hate painting more, squares or circles.
Everything.
Oh, I mean where you have to freehand them. I don't mind if these white circles get a little bit too big because I'm going to come over in black in a bit. So, squares. Because of the stupid... Okay. Well, I hope that's the case because if it's played on YouTube, that's my video unable to be published until I locate it, find that very specific audio point, and mute those 3.5 seconds, if it was even that. Good. Because I'm doing the YouTube multi-stream to try and build up its stream hours. To try and get that channel back where it once was. I do not plan on monetizing said channel though. Let those dry so I can put another layer on him in a minute. Now to go over all the dark green bits. Oh, honest. Really? What do you need to pull the RAM out for? I mean, if you're going to have to pull it out again for whatever reason, I would say do it after you've done whatever it is you need to do to pull it out the second time. Get that done first. Then put it all in when all that's done. Why on earth would you need that much RAM? Thing is, you're then setting your game standard to be higher than most gamers' development stuff. Or gaming stuff, I should say.
Unless you don't want the game. Well, speaking of cases, there are some nice ones still available on Amazon Day. I think Amazon Day still today? Yes. We've got about 5 hours left. The sword's got bent again. Unless you're Todd Howard, and then you tell everyone that their computers are out of date Because he refused to optimize the game.
because he's a moron that tells many lies. you should reorganize things. Get rid of some things that are actually clutter. I mean, there's a rule I've learned to follow. If it's not been used or used by you in over 6 months, it starts to go into the disused pile. If you haven't used something in over a year, it's time to get rid of it because you're never likely to actually use it again. At least not long term. At which point it's easier to borrow from someone. And yes, that does sadly include sentimental stuff as well. It's the only way to declutter. Bit low from how my hands are shaking. Come on, chocolates. Don't make me eat me for nothing.
You got 12 there.
12 now next to me, have I?
You got 12 there, that left way. Do you want a fudge?
No, not really.
Okay.
I wouldn't be eating them if it wasn't for my sugar levels.
Got the morning dairy milk as well there. Two. Oh. And
I can hear that meow. Creature demanding, demands attention.
Hello. Yeah. You know that soggy.
Has she got covered in rain again?
No. Barely any of it, in fact.
But enough to go, dry me, dry me, dry me.
Just hit it with my hand. That's how little she had on her. Then she very poorly. Now she's poorly. I know what you want. You're missing something on your plate, aren't you?
Finished off the rest of it, is she?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Loki.
I see. So, okay, right. I've got to handle that. I will be right back, folks.
Put this one on plate for her. This sword's heaven cat. He saw me.
back.
Situation built.
See, we've got 3 cats here. 2 are semi-feral. And 1 is still very feral. And only deigns to show up as and when he feels like it. He knows there's food here, so he does actually come back. And it's all part of the process, quite frankly. Is you let them have free reign, and you make it so it's all on their terms, and so they learn to trust you. I actually have a blog where I talk about how to tame up feral cats, both in a domestic in-house situation and outside in the wild. Now I'm going to say this straight up, folks. Rescue centres are telling themselves lies because they claim any cat over a certain age cannot be tamed. This is lies. It's a lie they tell themselves to justify not spending time on a feral cat and just putting them down. Now, it's not to say every rescue centre does it, but the myth has persisted into some of the top feline rescue centres who claim, oh, you can't tame a feral cat because once they get over the age of kitten age, you can't tame them. This is nonsense. All it is we can't justify spending time on them. Just be honest that you don't have the manpower and thus the time to spend taming feral cats. And because they do need a lot more hands-on than, say, a normal rescue cat that's come from a home. And the reason I say that, a normal rescue cat that's been humanized will still somewhat trust humans. A feral cat does not. Even strays, which people often mistake as stray and feral being the same thing, they are not. A stray is often humanized and has strayed from home and gotten lost and reverted to their default somewhat feral state, but will still, on some level, remember that humans give food and will be slightly more, shall we say, bold. A feral cat is not humanized, and even when they are old, they can be tamed up. The reason I know this, my last 7 cats at this point have all been feral, only 1 of which I tamed from a kitten. The others have all been adults. Tom and Dean, my last 2 old geriatric cats, were the ages of 10 and 11 when I tamed them up, and before their lives were sadly cut short either due to an accident, which is what happened to Tom, and then he had a bad reaction to the medication and things just went really downhill quickly. And with Dean, he had a hidden heart problem we didn't know about until it was too late. And by that I do mean even the vets didn't detect it until it was too late, sadly. And on top of that, he did also have lung cancer, so one or the other was going to get him.
He had a good life though.
But he did have a good life while I had him. I made sure of that. Any cat that comes towards me gets a cat's best friend. Same with dogs, actually, or any other animal. Even if I don't particularly like the animal, I will still give it some dignity and some respect and some TLC. There's plenty of animals out there I don't actually like, but I will still help. And quite frankly, Tom and Dean became lap cats that wouldn't leave me alone. Dean, on his first day in the house, was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to walk all over you. You better stay still, human, or I'm going to hit you. And I literally mean teeth, claws, and I took some abuse from that cat. I started with the taming process outside, and every day I came in, my hands looked like they'd been cut to ribbons by many sharp knives. Well, kitty claws, to be exact, every day, for about 4 months. Then he started learning to play thanks to a neighbour's cats that hang out here. Animals are little people and big people. I actually differentiate between people and humans. So, yeah. These feral cats were older cats, and I know they were older cats because I'd watched them in the colony for many a year. I'd watched them grow up as kittens. Sadly, out of say out of every litter of, let's say, 6 kittens, luckily only one, or sadly I should say, only one is usually able to survive into adulthood. Fewer still will make it to old age. And that's just how nature deals with the population. I mean, the cat colony here is starting to shrink now because we've been doing TNR on a lot of them. Try and bring them under control because they did explode in population. And feline leukemia and feline AIDS was getting to be quite prominent and it needed to be brought under control. And feline leukemia, just to be clear, isn't actually leukemia. It's parvovirus. It was just misnamed leukemia back in the early days, but the name stuck. But yeah, so Dean used to be an abusive little like monster. All the way up until one day when we had to catch him just before bonfire night. A celebration of the burning of an innocent man who was framed for trying to blow up Parliament by the name of Guy Fawkes. I say he was innocent because he was tricked into guarding those barrels. He had no idea what was in them. It's not dangerous, it's just contagious. Many cats actually get an immunity to it these days, and there is actually a vaccine for them. So yeah, they're not as dangerous as they used to be, and they don't actually spread to humans like the previously thought. Humans can carry it from cat to cat, so it just has to get on your clothes. Be in the area of an infected cat, walk into a room, and now you've got an uninfected cat infected. So it's highly contagious. And then we have Tom. Now that cat learnt from his brother that I provide food, so he was a little bit easier to tame up. He had started to associate me with food. And I got him in before another bonfire night, sadly. By that time his brother Dean had already passed away from that heart condition I told you about. But Tom came into my life just before COVID hit. And then lo and behold, I had him for a good couple of years, and then unfortunately while he was out, I don't know what happened to him. I'm not sure if some maniac hit him with their car. You mean the K9 version? The K9 version is much less, actually. And yes, that is something I'd also know about, having worked in many rescues and having to clear it out. The K9 version of parvovirus, again, has a vaccine. And unlike cats, dogs actually have a better chance of survival if they got medical aid quickly enough. Cats have a 20% chance of survival. Dogs have a 50% chance. I know this from first-hand experience.
learning to be a vet
Okay,
and
the whole-
working in.
Trying to learn to be a vet when I was younger. Unfortunately, I had to drop out of veterinary college because I had to take care of my then sickly disabled parent. And then just as I got back into college for that, she suddenly had to pass. As I say, suddenly had to. My dad passed away, and then within a couple of weeks, my mum passed away, and I had to drop out of college completely to look after my younger brother. And that was a whole unpleasant time in life. Very messy. But I've got had a couple of older siblings. Oh, we're hard done by. You don't know what it's like to sacrifice, really. I had to give up my entire education and all my chances of a future to look after a family. And the only reaction I ever get from my older brother is, oh, I had no pity for her. She was faking being disabled because, people want to fake being in a wheelchair. And having limited lives and having to live their lives like, I don't know, oh right, yes, waiting for someone to come turn the TV on, waiting for someone to decide to come and feed you, having to have someone to clean up after you because you can't get to the toilet in time. Yeah, I'm sure people would love to pretend to be all that. That was my first starting to fall out with him. And then he wanted me to go to a funeral in the middle of a second epidemic we were having, while my immune system was compromised. And I couldn't get to that funeral unless I was being driven by a car with people that had been in an infection-free bubble. Not only that, said sibling had well and truly screwed me and my younger brother over by that point. So I simply said no, and I haven't spoken to said older brother since. And I have other older siblings, barely in contact with them. But let's just say, sometimes when I've contacted them, it's not been the best interactions with them. But I wouldn't say I hold grudges against them entirely, maybe one of them. But that said, life can change people, and my door is still open to them because at least they didn't screw me over. Just acted judgmental and a bit daft when I needed support. When I really needed support the most. So when people say to me, family is everything, I will reply to you with this. Family is more than blood. Your close friends are the family you choose. The family you are born into is the family by genetics only. And you may not necessarily get on with them, and you don't have to. You do not have to deal with their toxic behaviour either. And both the hardest and most freeing lesson I learned while going through my mental health course in 2020 to 2021 was learning to say no. Needless to say, the people with narcissistic personality disorder in my life at the time did not like this at all. And yes, I am going to say that would be some of my older siblings. But not my sisters. Well, not my living sisters anyway. Not my best checkered square work. I absolutely hate squares.
That's still very good.
Really,
I'm impressed.
what I really need for
Considering
those...
the fact that your hand was shaking.
My hand's still shaking. I'm waiting for the sugars to kick in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what I really need is my stencils, but I can't find them anywhere.
It probably would have been hard on that shoulder as well.
Oh no, I have one specifically for wrapping over shoulders like that. Goodness knows where they are. It's probably somewhere in my old modelling kit upstairs.
Not in the attic, is it?
No, it's in the glorified bedroom that's become a storage room. Let me see, what have we got for him on his lion? What colour is it? Okay, I'm gonna have to call up his image. Let's have a look. See,
Yeah, oh, the link I gave you, you already had it up, didn't
I've
you?
got him pinned, so I'm gonna have a look.
You were glad about that, weren't you?
Right, 360 degrees. So let's spin him round. Ah, golden cream. Okay, well I've got the cream. Job for horrible brush.
You're making the gold, aren't you?
I've got to make a golden cream for the lion. It's tinted gold. I think that might be a bit dark. Oh, there's... Ah! They put agitators in them.
Oh, that's clever. Is that the new ones?
Yeah.
The metallics? Oh, that's clever. I didn't know that. Is that why they're so runny?
Probably. Oh no, it might be about right. Okay. We'll pop it in that one. Oh, I'm glad to see my reactions are coming back up. It's some nice big splurge of our white, ivory white here. Yes, that's my name for this shade I've made, ivory white. So when it dries, it actually looks like old polished ivory. It's better to mix this up into a different colour than to just waste it. Just mix it a bit. Too small. Guess it's this one. It's a little bit watery at the moment, so what we'll do is we'll use this as a wash so it gets into all those deeper cracks.
Sugars and that.
I didn't know how low they dropped until earlier either. Might need to get a blood test kit again. So let that dry. Now, where else have we got his creamy white? I need to find his cloak. There it is.
Oh, I thought it was still up there.
No, that is the shields. I'll be coming back to them in a bit. Hair just fell in as I was cleaning. I'm pretty sure it's paintbrush hair. It is. Alright. I'm gonna pull that out gently. Yep. No! No, it's got on the green. Get off. Got a nice green to paint down the highlights on that. I don't end up wearing more paint than I'm painting on the models, that is. Paintbrush here. Two in now. Damn, before I paint everything. Probably do later is come over in a very light gold,
Dry brush it.
very carefully, paint in some highlights. It's supposed to be a golden white lion from the looks of it. The rarest of all lions.
It also explains the fierceness of his armour, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Poke over there for now. Where else have we got some fluff? There we are.
His mane, isn't it?
I found fleck. Thought it was fluff, but now I've painted it in, I can vividly see it. So I'm painting the back bit so that it's all a nice uniform colour. The bits where it'll be glued on happens to be where the sprues meet again. So the sprue is making for a perfect holding and drying platform. While I have it. I haven't finished the green completely yet. But I would like to get this base coat of white in while I have the white available to do it. It's this nice ivory white anyway. Whoops. Wrong white. Or I may add some of that in a minute into the darker areas. Give some contrast. Remove this bit. No idea what that is or how it got there. Should probably have done the cream side first. To the dark one. Either that ivory white or overly that golden cream. I'll put that over there to dry. Ah! Sure I'm not wearing any now. Too wet. Let's wash. Oak's done. Dark one, I want the lighter one. I can go enjoy for a bit.
That's the shields in it.
Mm-hmm. And holding them.
You've got the that thing for that.
I'm holding that while holding them. they can go away again. Yeah. It's the second time I've painted that. Nothing escapes the paint. Not even my computer monitor. Sorry for the earthquake of my face. It's just me wiping paint off my computer monitor.
Yeah.
Red and black again. There you go. These guys have got it now as well. And the kneecaps. You can be happy they've got their ridiculously racing car checkered flag thing.
Yep.
Okay, so discussions off stream, folks, about whether or not they should have the checked flag, and eventually he got me to a consensus that maybe okay, I should put some time into it. So yeah, he got there eventually. But they're supposed to have this. It has deep meaning, lore argument, and eventually, well, since I'm a Star Wars fan and I absolutely despise what they're doing to Star Wars by destroying the existing lore because they're too lazy, I'd be the same as them if I didn't give them their bloody checkered flags. So, refusing to be like them, I gave them their checkered flags. It's time to give him his shiny dark green. Using my headset again. Not all of his green is going to go metallic green, just certain points. The really heavy metal bits. Bits that are supposed to be a rubber or a material of some kind that's not quite metal, then yeah, we're leaving them matte green. Come in with a fine brush and deal with a bit of black that's gone wrong as well. Somehow the silver has run off into an area that should be black, and I don't know how or when that happened. So that metallic green isn't overly metallic, just metallic enough to make it adaptive. Why am I using this brush for that joke? Fix that in a minute. Paint running where it shouldn't have done.
That's what happens, doesn't it, sometimes?
Sometimes, even when the paints are dry at the time.
Mm.
I really need a really fine brush. Where are you? There you are.
Your one strand brush, is it?
My one strand bent brush for weird jobs. And this one is a bit of a weird job. Brush actually got bent in the post, but I'm so glad it did, because it's given me a brush that's perfect for certain jobs that are an absolute nuisance. And yes, we're carrying on just a little bit longer because
Tech issues and cats.
tech issues and cats. It's kind of only fair that you guys get what you come here for, so.
Especially
Except apparently on YouTube. Give me a moment.
being unavailable. Policy violations. 2 minutes 22. 2 hours and 22 minutes.
I've got to find exactly where it started.
Yeah, it started at 2 minutes 22 2 hours 22 minutes and 28 seconds practically.
Okay, so YouTube is being an arse again.
Is when it suddenly stopped you.
Yeah.
The last couple of seconds.
So, I've announced on YouTube, sorry folks, YouTube is being an arse again because it can't tell permissions from copyright violations. So give me a moment with YouTube and I shall be back momentarily.